So I once again welcome you all to our learning table series for the month of March. Right. So I hope many of you are already familiar with what is learning table series. But if we have any new attendees to our session, then here is a quick introduction about what is learning table series. So learning table series is a month-on-month series where we will be exploring different industry-specific use cases and showcase on how you can build a powerful application with the help of Zoho Creator platform to solve the specific industry challenges, right? And not only that, this particular series runs every month. So on each and every month, we will be focusing on different industry specific use cases where we will dive deep and understand the industry specific use cases, and we will break down its core operation, and then we will demonstrate a custom built solution to tackle the common pain points and the inefficiency in that space. Right. So this is all about the learning table series. So I once again welcome you all to our learning table series. And for the month of March, we have taken the manufacture industry, where we will be understanding the different process involved in manufacturing industry, starting from the inventory to maintaining all the production and as well as the quality check. So everything that is something we are going to discuss in our today's webinar, right? So before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. So I'm Niveta and I'll be the trainer for this particular session. And also apart from that, we also have few housekeeping rules that needs to be followed throughout the session. So all the attendees will be muted. If you guys have any questions in between the session, you can use our question tab to post all of your queries. And we have a dedicated co-trainer who will be answering all of your queries in between these sessions, right? And if you would like to rewatch this particular session again, so if you have already registered, we'll be sending the recording links to all the registrants post the session. So which means once the recordings are ready, once the recording are processed, we'll be sharing it with all of the registrants, right? And also in between the session, we will be conducting few polls and surveys. So we would request each and every one of you to participate in those polls and survey. Right. So I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone. Now, before we get started, I will quickly turn off my video for the better screen visibility. So just give me a second. All right. So now let's get started by understanding the agenda for our session, right? So we will have a quick introduction about what is the industry that we have taken for today's session, and followed by that we will be understanding the applications process flow. So in today's session we are going to showcase the manufacture industry use case, right? So we will be understanding what is the application process flow for the manufacturing industry that we will be using today, and along with that we will also be understanding what are all the different features that we have used to build the application, right? And apart from that we will also be delving into the live demonstration, where I'll be giving you a detailed demonstration on the application that we have built. And after the live demonstration, we will be discussing about few extended use cases that you can implement within this particular application, right? And at the end of the session, I'll quickly give a recap of what are all the different modules and what are all the different dashboards that that we saw within the application. So this is pretty much about the agenda. So I hope the agenda part is clear to everyone. Now, without any further delay, let's get started with a quick introduction about what is manufacturing industry. So basically, the manufacturing industry will they'll be producing different types of goods, and they will be using different automations, the assembly lines, and even the quality control. In order to do every processes, they'll be using different technologies like robotics, IoT, and even the AI to enhance the efficiency and the operations. In that order, we have brought in this low code development platform, which is our Zoho Creator platform, right? So by this low-code development platform, we are going to understand how we will be using or how we will be implementing different automations that we can perform within the manufacturing industry, right? So now and also previously we have did few other sessions for the manufacturing industry, and those sessions were led by our valuable partners. So in the year 2023, one of our partner called Simprosoft has have done a session on the manufacturing industry. So if you are interested to watch the previous session, which was done by the Simprosoft partner, you can scan this QR code and you can watch the session, right? Where the partner would have given a detailed demonstration on the manufacturing industry use case in Creator, right? And in the last year, which is 2024, again another valuable partner, which is the BSP, has done another session in the manufacturing industry. So if you are interested to watch that particular session, again you can scan this QR code and you can watch the previous session which was done by the BSP, right? So I'll just give a second time so that you can register, so that you can use this QR code and register or start watching the session, right? So yeah, I hope you guys can able to see the previous session. Now let's move on to our session. So first, let us understand what is the manufacturing life cycle, right? So the manufacturing life cycles, there are different manufacturing processes that the industry follows, right? So the first step is going to be creating or getting the sales order or the work order, right? So the sales order or work order is nothing but whenever you receive an open sales order from different customers, right? So the customers will go ahead and place different orders within your manufacturing application, right? So that is going to be the first step. And the next step is going to be, you will be planning for the production, where you will be planning for the production, along with you will also be scheduling the production, when it should get delivered to the customer and when you should be starting the production. Everything that is going to be planned in the second process, and followed by that in the third process, this is where you will be requiring the procurement and the incoming quality. So the procurement part is nothing but whenever you want to purchase or procure any raw materials from the vendors, so that is something will be happening over here. And incoming quality, so once you receive the raw materials from the different vendors, you will then be sending the materials to the quality check, right? So that is going to be our third process in the manufacturing life cycle. And the fourth step is going to be inventory management. So once you get all those raw materials, or once you get all those raw materials, you then need to store them in a particular place, right? So that is where it comes the inventory management, where you are managing all your material information along with the different product information, right? So that is our fourth step. And the fifth step is going to be the production process. So once you have the stocks for the different materials, you then start the production, where this place is where you will start producing the different products, right? Now once that is produced, you then be moving your product to the quality inspection, where the quality analyst will check whether the product is meeting the customer's requirement, and also it will check whether it is meeting all the basic requirement which needs to be there inside that particular product, right? Now once that is done, the next step is going to be billing, packing and dispatching. Once you produce the product successfully, you will then need to deliver your product to the customers, right? So that's when you will be doing the packing and then dispatching. And once the delivery is done, you will be collecting the payment from the different customers, right? So this is the main manufacturing life cycle that the manufacturing industry follows. Now, with this, having an understanding of this manufacturing life cycle, we are going to understand how we have implemented this total life cycle into our Zoho Creator as an application, right? Now, before that, before that, let us also understand how easy it's to go ahead and use the Zoho Creator application with the legacy system. So it's not going to be easy when you replace the legacy system, right? It is always not going to be feasible. So it is going to be costly and time consuming, and it can also disrupt the existing operation, right? So if let's say a manufacturing industry is already using a legacy system, but in the legacy system there are set of process that they are doing it manually, which is going to be a time consuming, and it is going to be a tedious process, right? Now, to automate these kind of manual process, we have brought in the Zoho Creator. This Zoho Creator acts as a bridge between your legacy system and allows you to extend and modernize your legacy system without replacing it entirely, right? And with the help of Zoho Creator, you can integrate with the existing system, you can automate the manual workflows, and even you can enhance the data accessibility, you can even improve the collaboration, right? So everything is possible within our Zoho Creator platform, right? Now, moving forward, let us also understand the application process flow, right? So starting with, this is the manufacturing process diagram that you can see here. So the first and foremost process is going to be getting the sales order, right? So here is where you will be receiving these you will be receiving the different orders from the customers. So for example, let's say a company that manufactures furniture, and that particular company receives a sales order from a retailer. So here the retailer is going to be the customer, right? So that retailer is going to order 100 wooden chairs to the manufacturing company, right? So that's when the sales order will be created. And talking about the work order is nothing but an internal request for the production to manufacture good. So basically, in every manufacturing industry, there will be a continuous process which will be already running behind, right? Even if you get a sales order, even if you don't get a sales order, there is going to be a continuous process which will be running in the back end. So that is something which will happen simultaneously in the work order, right? And then production planning and scheduling. So here is where you will be creating a work order to produce the required item. So whatever the item that the customer is placed, that item you will be assigning for the different work orders. You will be creating different work orders, and then you will be planning for the production, and you will also be scheduling, and you will ensure that the resources such as the labors, the machines, and the materials are allocated efficiently to produce the product that we have received as a sales order, right? Now, once the planning and schedulings are done, the next step is going to be you will be checking for the stock, if the stock is available or not. So in order to produce a particular product, or a particular end product, you need to have certain raw materials, right? So that is something you will be you will analyze in the stock availability. If the stock is available, it will go to the next process, which is to create the production process. Whereas if the product or if the materials are not available, then it goes for the you will be requesting for the quotation from the different vendors. And once you receive the quotation, you will compare the different quotation, and whatever suits for your business requirement, you will choose that quotation, and then you will place the purchase order, right? And once the purchase order is placed, and once the purchase order is placed to the vendor will be delivering the materials to our manufacturing industry, right? So when they are delivering the materials, you will be receiving the GRN, which is the goods received note, right? And once that is done, you then need to update these stocks, right? So that is something you will be maintaining it in the different warehouses. So once you update those stock into the different warehouses, the next process is you will be settling up the payment for the vendors. So that is the supplier the payment. So this complete process that you will be following when the stock is not available. Whereas if the stock is available, again, as I mentioned, you will be creating the production order, where you will be creating the work order, and in the work order you will be allocating different employees, different workstation, different workspaces, and based on the different work order that you are creating, the employees will start working on it, right? So here there is going to be two process. One is you can do the in-house production, and there is going to be another process which is outsourced production, which means the outsourced production is nothing but whenever you are going to allocate the work order to any subcontractors who is going to be the external users, who is going to be the external user. So there is going to be two types of production, which is in-house and the outsourced. When it is in-house, the internal user will be working on it, whereas if it is outsourced, the external subcontractor will be working on the different job orders, right? So the two process you'll be following to create a production process, and followed by that you will have the production life cycle. And once the production life cycle is completed, the product will go for the quality check, right? So here is where you will be checking whether the product is meeting the customer's requirement and the basic requirement, and followed by that you will have the pre-delivery inspection. So before delivering the product, you will do a quick inspection, and once that is done, you will then be packing and dispatching the product to the different customers, right? Now this is the complete manufacturing process that we have implemented inside our application that we have created, right? So I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone. Now, apart from this, we also have another process, which is procurement process. So this procurement process is nothing but whenever the work order will be allocated for the different employees, right? Now the employees will check for the stocks, whether the stocks are available or not, to create a specific product, right? If the stock is not available, the employee will be requesting the item. Whatever the item is not available, he will be requesting the item. And once he requests the item, the request will be approved either by the manager or by the finance team, right? So once they approve the request, it will then go for the then you will be raising the quotation, right? So you will be raising for the quotation from different vendors. So it can be vendor 1, vendor 2, and vendor 3. So whoever you have as a vendor, you will be getting the different quotation from them. Now once you get the quotation, you will then compare and select the quotation. So whichever suits your requirement, your organization requirement, you can choose that quotation, and on choosing the quotation, the finance team will approve, and the purchase order will be created to the vendor, and the vendor will be dispatching the requested item, and he will be receiving the we will be receiving the goods received note, and the vendor will be requesting for the payment. So once he delivers the materials or the items, he will then be requesting for the payment, and the payment will be settled up by the finance team, right? So basically the procurement process is going to be an internal process. Along with that, you will also be including the vendors. Vendor is going to act as the external user, right? And not only that, you will the users that will be involved in this particular process is employee, manager, and the finance team. So all these people are involved to this particular procurement process, right? So again, I hope this is pretty much clear to everyone. Now let us also understand what are all the different modules that we have created within the application, right? So the first and foremost module that you can see here is sales and distribution. So under the sales and distribution, you will be maintaining the customer's information, which is the customer relationship management, where you will manage your customers' interaction, the sales pipeline, and as well as the communication that you will have between the customers. And then comes the order management. So here is where you will track and process the customers order, and followed by that you have something called outbound logistics. So this outbound logistics is nothing but it manages the transportation and delivery of the finished products to the customer. So once you are about to deliver the product to the customer, that's when you will use the outbound logistics. And then we have the customer portal, where it provides the customer with access to their orders, invoices, and the tracking details. Right? So these are all the different information that you will be tracking within the sales and distribution module. And then you have the inventory and procurement. So in the inventory and procurement, you have something called inventory analysis and planning. So here is where you will track the stock levels and you will predict the demand. Right. And now once that is done, then you'll be moving on to the next process, which is the MRP, which is the material requirement planning. So this is nothing but it ensures that the raw materials are available for the production. And then sourcing and purchasing. So in the sourcing and purchasing, you will be handling different vendors. I mean, you will handle vendor selection and the purchase order information. Then comes the inbound logistics. So inbound logistics is nothing but whenever you are receiving the incoming shipment of the raw materials from different vendors, that is something we call it as the inbound logistics. And then you have the subcontracting. So under the subcontracting, this subcontracting will allow outsourcing of specific production task, which means you will create the work order. Right now, the work order can be allocated in two different ways. One is in-house production, and the other one is outsourced production. So the subcontracting is nothing but if you are opting for the outsourcing production, that's when you will use the subcontracting. And this subcontracting is going to be an external user who will be receiving different job orders from your end. Right. Then you have the supplier portal, so where the suppliers can check the order status and provides the invoices. Then you have the design and development module. So under the design and develop module, this particular module supports the product design, the life cycle management, the life cycle management and the improvements. Now talking about the product life cycle management, this will help you in tracking the product evaluation from design to retirement. Right. Then we have the new product development. So here you will be managing all your innovations and the prototyping for that particular product that you have designed. And design revision. So if you will be creating document where you will have all the design changes and the version control. So basically all of your design will be created within a document or whatever the format that you have created. Right. So in the design revision, you will be maintaining all the version controls, and along with that any design changes that is required. So that comes under the design and development part. And moving forward, you have the production. Right. So under the production, you have the estimation. So in the production is the place where you will be handling the manufacturing process, execution, and all the costing details. Right. Now the first process is estimation. In the estimation, you will be calculating the cost, the materials, and the labor who are needed to do the production. And then you have the master production schedule. So in the master production schedule, you will be defining the production timeline, which will be based on the demand. And then you will be creating the work order management, where you will assign tasks to the production team. Right. Then we have the manufacturing execution system. This will monitor the production process in the real time. So whatever the process that you are doing, so this particular this particular operation will monitor the process that you are doing in the real time. Then comes the shop floor management. So here is where you will track the workforce and the machine usage. So in order to produce a particular product, you will have certain equipments or certain machines to produce the product, right? So all that will be maintained under the shop floor management. Then we have the costing, where you will analyze the manufacturing cost and the profitability. Right. So these are the different processes that is involved in the production module. Now then, once your production is done, again you'll be going for the quality check. For that we have a separate module, which is the quality management. Under the quality management, you will be maintaining all the quality, you will be setting the quality standards and the compliance rule in the quality administration. Followed by that, in the acceptance and the rejection analysis, you will inspect the product and you will categorize the defects. So where if the product meets the requirement, you will accept that particular product, whereas if the product doesn't meet the requirement, you will be rejecting that particular product, and it will again go to the production process. It will recreate the product again, right? That comes as the quality management module. Then you have the project management. So under the project management, you have two management, which is budgeting and the capex and the opex. So talking about the budgeting, so here you will be allocating the funds to different production activities. So there will be several production activities, right? So each production activity consists of different funds, right? So that is something you'll be maintaining it under the budgeting. Now, the next part is capex and the opex. So the capex is nothing but the capital expenses, which is nothing but whatever the machinery or the tools that you're using. So that is something will be maintained over here. And talking about the opex, the opex is nothing but the operational expenses, where you will be where you'll be getting all the raw materials and the different labors from from different contractors, right? So that is something you'll be maintaining it in the capex and the opex. And then you have the maintenance management. Under the maintenance management, you will be maintaining all the equipment induction and the setup process and the preventive maintenance. So preventive maintenance is nothing but you will be scheduling the regular maintenance to avoid any breakdowns. And the predictive maintenance, so here you will be using any AI or IoT predict potential that goes for any failure. So by using the AI and any IoT machine, you will get it will predict the outcome whenever it is going to be a failure one. And then you have the HCM. So HCM is nothing but the human capital management module. So under the HCM, you have the workforce management and as well as the payrolls and benefit. Talking about the workforce management, here is where you will be assigning the employees to tasks based on the skill and the availability, right? And once you assign them, once you manage all those employees and the different skill sets of the employees, once you manage them, the next part is you will also be providing the salaries to the different employees, right? So that is something you'll be maintaining it under the payroll and the benefits, where you'll manage the salary, the bonuses, and if you are providing any different benefits for the employees, all that will be maintained over here, right? Now this is the overall modules that we have used inside our manufacturing industry application, right? Now then, talking about the different features that we have used to build the application is, we have used the pre-built integration with the established ERPs. We have integrated with an established ERPs, and we have used the different automations to provide the reminders and the notifications. And we have used the AI-based smart import, where you can convert these spreadsheets. So if you have a particular data stored in the spreadsheet, you can have them imported to your creator platform, and you can create an application with the respective data, or you can even create a form. All that can be created. So that's again a AI based feature. Then you can also go ahead and whenever and wherever it is required for you to create any custom AI, you can go ahead and we have also used the custom AI. Then you can use our native Android and iOS apps for using this application. And if required, you will we can create the AR QR or barcodes, geofencing, and even we have created different custom dashboards to get a detailed understanding of all the processes. And we will also be getting the real-time alerts and the updates, the role-based access control, white labeling. So there are different features that we have used to build this particular manufacturing ERP, right? Now that is about the feature. So I hope so far you have got an understanding about what are all the different modules and what are all the different the application flow and what are all the different features that we have used to build this particular manufacturing ERP. Now it's time for us to go to the live demonstration, and we will start exploring the application that we have built, right? So yeah, so here we are. So here is where I've just created my application, which is the manufacturing ERP. So I'll just click on this application. Now once I click on the application, the first thing I'll be landing into is the the revenue dashboard, right? So here you can see all the revenue sort of information, like the top selling items information, the total sales that you have made for so it will give the comparison between the previous month and for the current month, the quantity ordered so far, the revenue details, the growth, the total expenses, and the estimation production cost. And if you could see here, you also have the top 10 customers. So if you have different customers, it will get you the top 10 customers list over here. Then below that, you have the accounts overview. Under the accounts overview, you will have the order category. Based on the order category, the total amount will be displayed over here, right? So you, whenever it is required, you can refresh them. Even you can change the chart type whenever it is required. Then you have the revenue chart creator, where it will generate the revenue based on each and every month. So whatever the revenue that you are getting in the every month, that will be displayed in the revenue chart over here along with the total amount, right? So this is about the revenue dashboard, and this is going to be the first place that you will be landing into, right? Now let us understand the let us go ahead and understand the all the different master forms that we have, right? So starting with the organization, so this organization is going to be the administrative masters, administratives master, where this particular master completely belongs to the administrative view, right? So now here you can see the different set of forms, like the company details, users, contacts, variant setup, quality issues, workspace info, and warehouse info, workplace hierarchy, financial year, leave and holidays. All these comes under the administrator view, right? Now whenever it is required for you to go ahead and add the company detail, you will have an add option over here. By clicking on it, so since I've already added a company detail, I'll be able to edit the existing one, right? So I'll just go to the edit, and here a form will be opened. Now here is where you'll be providing your organization informations, like the company name, the email address, the contact number, if you have any logos, the address, and if your company has any GST number. And along with that, you will also uploading your warehouse detail. So each and every manufacturing industry will have a certain warehouses to store their product, right? So you will be providing the warehouse details, and this warehouse detail is something that we have created with the help of subform, right? So in the warehouse, the warehouse code will be automatically created, and then you will have the warehouse name, the contact number. Along with that, you will also be adding the warehouse address, right? So once that is done, you can just save this, and your organization information will be created over here, right? Now apart from this, you have the other other form, which is to add your internal users to the application with different to different department, and with different roles, right? So to add them, you will have the add icon over here. Just click on this. Here's where you will be adding your new user, and this user is something who is going to be the internal users, who is going to be part of your organization, right? You'll be providing the name, the email ID, employee ID, phone number, the date of birth of the user. Along with that, the image, the roles can be defined here, and the department, the gender, and as well as the status, whether this particular user is active or not, right? And apart from adding the internal user, there will also be certain external users, right? So that's when you will go to the contacts and you will start adding the customers, the subcontractors, vendors, and the delivery partners. So the customers are nothing but who will be placing the different sales order inside your organization, right? So you can just click again, you can click on the add and you will be able to add the customer info. And then you will have the subcontractors where you will be providing different job orders to the subcontractors, right? That is something you can, by clicking on the add record, you will be able to add your subcontractors detail. Then you have the vendors. So in the vendors, as I mentioned, you will be having several vendors. From different vendors you will be collecting the different raw materials, right? So you need to know who are all the vendors, right? So here you will be storing all your vendor information. Along with that, you also have this rating mechanism. So by just providing the rating, you can just manually give the ratings. So let's say for the price, I'll give 4 star. For the specification, I can provide with 5 star. The delivery, 3 star. Like this, you can provide the ratings for these specific vendors. By providing the ratings, you will, whenever you are trying to whenever you're trying to get the raw materials from the vendors, by just analyzing the ratings, it will be easily, I mean, it will be very much easier for you to provide for you to get the raw materials based on the vendors rating that you have provided, right? So you can just use the rating mechanism for that purpose. And then you have the delivery partners. So delivery partners are nothing but who will be delivering the end product to the different customers, right? So the delivery partners details can be added over here. By just clicking on the add, you will be adding the company name, the contact person information, phone number, email, and the order dispatch information, right? So once you add, those information will be visible over here. Now then you have the variant setup. So the variant setup are nothing but you will in your manufacturing industry, you will be manufacturing different products. So for example, let's say you will manufacture the electronics, the furniture, or any other products, right? So each and every products will have different variant setup, right? So to set up those process, you again need to click on this add icon, and here you will be providing the attribute along with the values for that specific product, right? So right now I've just specified all the different attributes over here. So for example, let's say I'm producing or I'm manufacturing only the mobile phones. So for whatever the attributes or whatever the variant that is required to produce produce the mobile phone, that all those I have listed out over here, right? Then comes the quality issues. So whenever there is any quality issues in the process, so once the production is completed, you will send the product to the quality check, right? If there is any issue on that scenario, you will be choosing the, in the drop down, you'll be choosing in process, and you will be providing the reason of the quality issue. Whereas if you have any issues in the incoming orders, so the incoming the incoming the incoming materials from the vendors, so that is, if you face any quality issues, you will be choosing the incoming as the type, and the reason will be provided over here. And along with that, you will also have certain products that will be returned back to you from the customer, right? So you can choose in the drop down, again you can choose the return option, and you can provide the reason for on what reason, or what is the specific reason that the customer is returning the items. So that reasons can be mentioned over here. That comes the quality issues. Apart from that, you also have something called workspace info. So in the workspace info, there will be different workspaces where you will be where you will be storing all of your products, or where you will be where you will start all of your production process, right? So for the warehouse info, we have we have a certain hierarchy, which is blocks, workspaces, and the workstations. So blocks, under the blocks, so blocks are nothing but, let's say you will have block A, block B, block C, block D. So by just clicking add, you will add the block information. Now within the block, there will be different workspaces. So the workspaces are nothing but within every block that you have, you will have multiple floors, right? Ground floor, first floor, and the second floor. So those information can be added over here along with the room details. So there will be different rooms within each floors, right? So the room details will also be added over here. Once the workspaces are added, next comes the workstation. Now within each and every room there will be certain operations that will take place, right? So that is something you will be that those are all the options that you will be adding it inside the workstation. So by clicking on the add again, you will choose the room, you will give a name to the workstation, and then you will choose the workstation type, you will choose the operational skills, and then along with that you will also choose, if you have added any workstation head, that person will be listed in the drop down. And you can also provide the access to different employees who will be working into this particular workstation, right? So like this you'll be maintaining the workstation details over here. Then you have the warehouse info. Now once the products are produced and once you produce the end product, you then need to store them into a particular warehouse, right? So here we have a certain hierarchy again. So first thing is you will be adding the warehouse information, and within the warehouse you will have different storage spaces, right? So those storage spaces you will be adding it, you will be providing their names along with the direction and the description. and and apart from this, if you want to go ahead and drill down to more, if you are storing your product in the rack, you have the rack info, where within the storage space you will have different set of racks to store your products. Now even drill downing more, if you want to go ahead and create any storage unit or storage bins within the rack, that's when you will go for the storage unit, right? So you will be adding the storage unit information over here, and that storage unit will be within the rack info, right? So this is about the warehouse info. Then comes the workplace hierarchy. So within the workplace there will be different departments, teams, and the designations, right? So that is something you can maintain it over here. Then we have financial year and the leave and holidays. So under the financial year, you can just keep a track of all your financial year. So for the current year I have this created. If you have anything upcoming or anything in the previously, if you have had the financial year, all those information can be maintained over here. And in the leave and holidays, you will be able to add the leave information. So you can provide the name, you can provide the leave type, whether it is paid or unpaid, and it is, if it is applicable for all employees or only specific employees. So that is something you can maintain over here, along with the holidays. If there are any public holidays, if there are any government holidays, those can be added, and on adding it you will able to see those data over here within this UI itself. Now if you could see, all these for all these menus are on to the right, and over here you have the forms and the reports embedded, right? Now this particular UI is something that we built with the help of snippet feature in the page component. So if you go to the page component, you will have a snippet feature, right? So with the help of snippet, we have built this particular UI, right? Now then moving to the next modules like the HRMS, and then we have the accounting, the portal view. So the HRMS is nothing but here this place is where you will be maintaining all your employees, where you will also be giving access to the employees to create their profile, to check their attendance information, the leaves, pay slip, visitors, and the requested leave. So this is specifically built for the employees view, right? Then comes the accounting. So basically the finance team will be maintaining all these information, along with the, if there is any refunds related information, again that is also maintained by the finance team, right? And then you also have the portal view. So here comes the different views, which is vendor view, customer view, and the job orders view, which is for the subcontractor view. Now so now this is nothing but vendor view is nothing but when you are when you are creating a purchase order to a specific vendor, so the vendor will be able to view the report via this particular view that you have created. So since these three users are the external user, we have created them as a portal users. We have just given our application access to them as a portal users. Now, in order to create the portal users, you just need to go to the edit mode of your application, and in the edit mode, in the application settings, you will have the permissions. Under the permissions, you will have the portal users. So if you could see here, I have created the different different portal users along with different permission sets that is required for them, right? So subcontractor, the vendor, admin, and the customer. So customer is something which will be default, which will be created by default. So whenever it is required, you can just provide them with a certain permission set. So you can just click on this add permission and you will be able to provide the permission for that specific user, right? So so again for the I'll just close this. So for each and every external users, I have defined a set of permissions, right? So if it is for job contractors, I would have given access only for the job orders. Whereas for the vendors, it is for, so here you could see, right, portal view. These are all the different, the different forms and the reports that I have gave permission for the vendors and the customers and subcontractors, right? So I hope this part is clear to everyone. Now, moving to the next module, let us understand the core operation of the manufacturing industry, right? So here you have the sales order, inventory, production, and the purchase. So let me go to the inventory. And within the inventory, I can see the different set of informations like the transitory storage, by just choosing a respective product, I'll be able to view the stock information. So you can see here for this specific product, I can be able to view their stock details and the work order details, the storage unit, everything can be viewed. And apart from that, you also have the dispatched item count, the order item count, the delivered items, whatever the product that you have delivered so far, the count will be visible over here. And below you have stock based on type, which is you will get the you will get an understanding of what are all the different stock that you have obtained so far. So for the raw materials, you can see that we have 31.12%. For the semi finished and the finished product, all those statuses can be viewed over here. Then whatever the warehouses that you have added so far, those information will be visible here. And here, if you could see something called outsourced product, which means if you are about to create a job orders for the subcontractors, that is something you can view it from here. And apart from that, you have something called the quick links, right? Over here, without even going to the form or the report directly, by just accessing this quick link, you will be allowed to access that particular form, or if you have embed any report as a quick link, the report will be opened over here, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just quickly try to add a product. So these are all the existing product. So these are all the final product list, and these are all the raw material product list. Now to add the product, I'll have the add option. I'll click on that, and here I'll be able to add the product name, the SKU number, and the furthermore information. Now what I'll do, I'll just give a name. Let's say I'll just say smart LED TV. And the SKU number. So SKU number is going to be a unique number that each and every product will have. So I'll say y. And the product type. So here is where you'll be choosing which type of product that you are adding, whether it is a component or whether it is a final product, or if it is a purchase item, or if it is a raw material, or if it is a sub assembly. Now I'm going to add this product as a final product, right? And if you have any inspection sheet, so the inspection sheet is nothing but in the manufacturing industry, you will be maintaining a document which is used to record the quality checks and which will use to record your quality check and the inspections during various stages of production. And also it will ensures that the product meets the required specification standards and the regulation. Now I already have an inspection sheet. I'll just upload them. And then below comes the product design. So if you have created any product design and if you have stored them as in a file format, you can upload them over here. Then comes the parent category. Here is where you'll be defining under which category that your product will fall. So here the smart LED TV is going to be the electronics and the unit of measure. So under the unit of measure, I'm going to define it whether it will be in the kg or the numbers, or it will be in the piece. Whereas if you want to add any new unit of measure, you can add them over here. Now I'll just go with the piece, and below that you need to provide the price. Unit price is nothing but for one individual product you'll be defining a unit price. So let's say the TV is going to cost around 30,000. One single piece price is 30,000. Now then if you have any product image, you can upload them, and if there is any description is required, you can have them over here. Then reorder point. So this reorder point is nothing but let's say so whenever the product reaches the given reorder point, the system will send a notification or the warning that the product needs to be procured or the purchase order needs to be raised, right? So that is something you will be defining it over here. So let's say I'm just giving the reorder point as 1000, and the barcode or QR code image, if you have any, you can upload them. And if you have any HSN number, so HSN is nothing but the harmonized system nomenclature. It is a 6-digit code that classifies more than 500 products or the commodities which accommodates to well established rules that is accepted worldwide, right? So first 6-digit common to all countries. And also while you are exporting or importing, and for the customers, if you are exporting or importing the product, and for the customers, we will be using this particular HSN code, right? So you can add a new code. So let me try to add a new code. Along with that, you will be providing the IGST. And then if you have any UAN number, you can have them here. And below that you have the does product need serving. If this specific product needs any servicing, you will be clicking on this checkbox, and over here under the service period you will be required to choose the frequency. So under the frequency, I'm going to give whether it is days, months, or the years. So let me say it's the years, and the servicing period is going to be 1 year. Now once all those information is updated, just submit this. The product will be added, and you can see them in the product master report. So here you can see, so we have chosen the product as the final product, and below that you can see the smart LED TV which we have added right now, right? Now then once this is completed, I'll then go to the production. So in the production, I'll be going to the production dashboard. So production is the place where I'll be scheduling and planning for the different production process to complete the or to produce the end product, right? Now within this dashboard, you will get to see different sort of informations like the total production count, the job orders, and the the estimation operation cost, the estimation manufacturing cost. And along with that, you will see the production quantities. What are all the different production quantity that you have done for that particular month, and the production list, even the total equipment that you have used, and what are all the active equipment, and if there is anything that is under maintenance. All those information will be maintained within this dashboard. And if you have created any work orders, those information will be added to the current work orders current work order section that we have it within the dashboard. Now, apart from this, you have the quick links. Now, again, there is going to be different processes that is involved within the production process, right? So one such process is production process, production routing, and the bill of materials. So these three are going to be the three specific categories, right? So the difference between the production process and the production routings are very simple. The production process is nothing but it refers to the entire sequence of steps that is involved in transforming the raw materials into a finished products, including all the different operations like the assembly stages and even the quality checks, right? So whatever the operation that is required to produce the end result, you will be assigning those operation into the production process. Whereas talking about the production routing, so talking about the production routing, it will specifically it will create the order in which these operation must be performed. So once you define the operations here in the routing, you will be defining on what basis or on what sequence these operations should take place, right? So basically it will act as a step by step guide for the manufacturing process, specifying which workstation, the tools and resources are needed at each stage to produce a product efficiently, right? Now what I'll do, I'll just try to create a production process by just clicking on this production process. Let me try to click on the add new, and here I'll choose the product. So the product that we have created is the smart LED TV. I'm going to choose the variant name. Along with that, the operation name. If you have any operation created already, or if you want to create a new operation, you can click on this add new and you can create the operation list. Now let me go with the assembling operation. The workstation is going to be, there are three different the workstation which is available, which is assembly line, the PCB assembly and the testing station. Let me choose the PCB assembly, and if there is any procedure or instruction that you would like to give to the employees while producing this particular product, that can be given over here. And you will also be defining what is the estimated operation time. So let's say for example, I'll just give 120 minutes. It should be in the minutes. And the operation cost, so let's say the operation cost is around 1,000. And you will be defining whether the operation type is independent or dependent. So that is nothing but if this particular operation doesn't needs any other operation supports, then you can go with the independent. Whereas if this particular operation needs any support from the other operation, that will be if it is needed, you will be choosing the dependent as the operation type. Right. So right now, this particular operation doesn't require any dependent process. So I'll go with the independent. And below that, I'll be choosing what is going to be the process output. So here it's going to be the smart LED TV, and the output variant is going to be, again, I'll choose the default. The process type is going to be the production process. So by default, it will take the production process, whereas by choosing the drop down, you can go and choose the rest of the options like variant conversion process or even the service process. Let me go with the production process. And if this operation requires any quality analysis, you can check this box and it will ask you to update the inspection sheet. So I'll just update this particular sheet. And here, so now to produce this particular product, you need to obtain few materials, which is the raw materials to create this whole end product, right? So those materials is something you will be adding it over here. Right now I have these two as a raw material, whereas if required, you can again go to the add new. This will take you to the product master. You can add the raw material, and once adding the raw materials into the product master, that will be listed in this drop down. So for now, I'll choose the existing material and I'll choose the variant name along with the quantity information. And also I'll choose the aluminum, the default, and it's going to be 1 quantity. So 1 quantity is required to produce this particular end product, which is smart LED TV. Now I'll submit this. So now once this is submitted, you will see the production process over here. So you will get to see whatever the data that you have submitted, those information will be visible here. Now we have defined the production process. The next step is we are going to create the sequence, right? So on which basis, on which sequence that the operation should take place. So that is something I'm going to define it in the production routing. So I'll click on the add, and under the product I'm going to choose the smart LED. The variant is going to be the default, and the process type it's going to be the made to product. And since I'm creating within my production, I'm going to choose the production. And on choosing the product, whatever the different operation that you have created inside the production process, that will be automatically populated. All those data will be automatically populated within the subform. So in order to populate these information in the backend, we have performed the workflow automation, right? So whatever the data that you have assigned to this particular product, that will be on choosing this product, you will be able to see these data will be auto populated, right? And then if you have any dependent operation to complete this particular production, that will be added over here automatically. So now I'll submit it. Since this doesn't have any dependent operation, I'll just submit this. Now we have created our routing, and the status is active, right? So there will be whenever you create a particular routing, a routing ID will be generated automatically, right? Now I'll close this. Now once these processes are done, we have a child bill of material where you will get to create, or where you will get to add all the different, on choosing the product. So let's say I'm choosing the smart LED TV, and I'll choose the variant, the production ID, which is the RU007 made to production. On choosing that, the BOM date will be automatically added, which is the current date. And under the component list, whatever the products, the variant, whatever the quantity that I've chosen to build to create or to produce this particular product, that will be automatically listed. So since you have chosen all these materials to create this particular product, all that will be added into the subform. Along with that, you can see the quantity, unit of measurement, and also you will see the unit price. And if there is any error percentage while you have received, or while you are producing this product, if you have any wastage within this raw material, those information can be given within the error percentage, right? So then you have the subtotal cost. So it aggregates all the the count, the quantity count, and it also sum up all the total cost, and it'll give you the overall material estimated cost over here, right? So by this you will get a detailed understanding on how much it's going to cost for this particular production or particular material cost. Now I'll submit it. Now once that is submitted, so once this particular is submitted, the I'll just close this. Yeah. So once you submit the bill of material, the details will be seen over here within this report, right? Now once that is done, you will then need to create the production order, right? So you have defined the production process, and you have defined the sequence on how it should be executed, and you have created the bill of material as well. The next step is creating the production order. So I'll just click on this production order, and within here you have the add option to add the production detail. Whereas there is another way where you can directly go to the production order, which is once you add the bill of materials, over here you have the create production order information. So now what I'll do, I'll just choose the smart LED TV, and I'll click on the create production. Now, once you click on the production order form will be opened and all the details will be automatically filled. You need to choose the production type, whether it is going to be made to stock, made to order, both stock and order, or made to service. So let me give you a quick understanding of what are all these production type. So when you choose the made to stock, you are creating this process to you're creating this particular product to update in your stock, which is to update in your inventory, right? Whereas if you're choosing the made to order, this is nothing but if you have any open sales order from the customer, and if you would like to deliver this particular order to that particular the sales order, that's when you will be choosing the made to order. If you choose the made to order, if you have any sales order created, those sales order information will be those sales order information will be generated over here. So you can just choose the respective sales order and you can assign this particular production order to that sales order, right? And here the target quantity is 1, which we have already given. And then you'll be choosing the production due date. When is the production due date? That is something you will be assigning it over here. Let me say the due date is going to be Wednesday 12th. And now it's going to be I'm going to create this only to be only to stock this up. So I'll go to the I'll choose the made to stock. And once you choose the production order, you could see the stock information which is automatically generated, right? So based on the material that you have chosen, it will gives you the quantity in stock, and it will also compass what is the required quantity, right? So the required quantity is 1, so we already have the materials in stock, so you can easily go ahead and create this production order without even raising any purchase order. Now over here you have a eye icon, right? So if you click on this, here is where you will get to see what are all the different process that we will be following in this production process. So the first thing we are going to create is the smart LED product, which is going to be the end product, and followed by that we have created an production type, which is the assembly, right? So when you click on this, you will get to see what are all the different materials and quantity in stock, required quantity that is needed to produce this particular end product, right? Now then here you can see the operation name, the production target, estimation operation time, the cost, and even the operation type. Along with that, it will gives you the estimation operation cost. Now just submit this. So now once you submit this, the inventory team will receive a notification. So here they will receive a notification where you will be telling that you have planned for a purchase, where you have planned for a production order. So that production order can be viewed under the transitory storage. So if I just click on here, I'll be able to see the product that I've created, which is the smart LED TV. So from here, if I just click on the create transitory storage, in case if the stock is available, I can directly go ahead and click on the transitory storage, and I can store them in a temporary storage space, which is let's say I'm delivering a particular product to a customer. So once the product is ready, once the product is produced and it is ready to deliver, for the time being, I'll be placing those product into a particular space, which can be a warehouse or it can be any other space, right? So that is something we call it as the transitory storage. So now here you can see, since the stock is already available, it is showing the allocated quantity and the required quantity. So under the transitory storage, it will automatically choose which is the product and which is the variant and in which warehouse that you are going to store this particular product, right? So by submitting it, it will create it will add the product to the transitory storage. Now, before this, let me also go to the production. Now, this process will occur when you already have the products in the stock, right? Whereas if you do not have the products in stock, and if you would like to create a new production order, you will be creating it over here. So here we have just created the smart LED as the production order. Now then the next process is going to be, you will be creating the work orders where you will be assigning the different employees and different workstation where the production should take place, right? So for that, I'll be choosing the assign work order. Let me go to the operation and workstation. Um, Let me, so here is where you'll be choosing. Let me go to the production dashboard again. So right now it's showing it is in the planned status, right? Now to go and check here, planned PO, I'll just create the transitory storage and I'll just submit this. I'll choose the rack details and along with the storage unit. Let me close all these rest of the empty field. Now I have created the transitory storage, right? So the next thing is I'll again go to the production dashboard. Now, when I go to the assign work order, I'll be able to assign the work order for two persons. One is going to be in-house work order and the other one is going to be the outsourced job orders. So the as I mentioned earlier, in-house is nothing but the internal employees who will be dedicatedly working on the assigned work orders. Whereas if you are providing the job orders to the external subcontractors, that when you will click on the assign subcontractor and the subcontractor will receive the job orders, right? So for now I'm going to assign the work orders internally. So I'll click on the I'll just click on the work orders internal, and here I'll be choosing the workstation along with the quantity that is assigned to produce this particular product. Now I'll submit this. Now, once this is submitted, now again I'll go to the inventory dashboard where I'll receive a notification that awaiting material. So once you assign the work order, there will be you need to supply the raw materials to the different workstation to start the production, right? And that is something will take place under the inventory management. So over here you can see the awaiting material, right? By just clicking on the awaiting material here, I'll be able to issue the material to start the production. So I'll issue the material. I'll just say yes. Now they can issue the materials to individual workstation where the actual operation will be done within this particular system. Now, once you issue the material, it will take you to the production order where you will get to see the different stages, starting with the planned production, assigned to workstation, materials issued, in progress, and completed. After that, you will see the production details, like what is the type that you are producing, and what is the product, the variant, along with the work orders, the material input, and as well as the dependent materials, right? So all that will be visible within this particular UI, right? Now what I'll do, I'll go back to the production dashboard. Now, if I just click on the production order, I'll be able to see the production status. So right now you can see for the smart LED TV, since we have issued the material, it's saying assigned to workstation, right? Whereas the other production orders are saying completed, planned, and planned. So like this, you will get to see all other different activities that are done. So once the activity is checked, again, now I'll be going to the operational workstation, which is under my production. Here you will have the operation and workstation. So by just clicking on that, here you will get to choose the respective workstation, and whatever the workstation that you have assigned the work order, here you will get to see. If you're starting the production, you just need to click on this button. Then it will consider that you have started the production. And once you're done with producing that particular product, you can then end it over here. Now I'll just click on the start. And once it is done, once you have started, the status will be in progress. And once this is done, you can just click on the end, and you will be asked to enter the quantity. So how much quantity that you have produced, you can just enter that data. And once that is entered, you can do the next step is going to be, so since you have produced the product, you then need to send the product to the quality inspection, right? So for that, I'll be going to the quality analysis over here, and here you can see the product result, the quality result is pending. Now by just clicking on this submit QA result, it will ask you what is the approved quantity, and it will ask you to submit the inspection sheet. Let me submit the inspection sheet. And if you have any comments or any notes to be given, you can have them here. If there is any rejected quantity is there, you can have those data stored in the rejected quantity field. Now I'll submit it. Now you can see the complete production order under this order ID is done, which is completed, right? So you can see what are all the different process that is involved: planned, assigned to workstation, material issued, completed. All those information can be tracked within this particular UI, right? Now the next part is, now once the production is completed, so as I mentioned, there is going to be two ways where you can use this application effectively. One is the manufacturing industry will always be producing a certain product, so there will be an existing production which will be ongoing, right? So that is something we call it as the made to production, whereas there will be made to stock. Whereas there is going to be another process which is going to act as, whenever the customer is placing an order, you will then get the order details, and then you will start the production. So this comes under the made to made to order category, right? So two processes can be done within this application. Now to go ahead and get the orders from the customers, here we have the specific module, which is the order management. So if I go ahead and add a record here, the order source can be either web or offline. I'll just go with the offline, and the customer, if you have added any customer, they'll be listed out over here, or if needed, you can add them from here itself. Then the delivery, expected delivery. So let's say the expected delivery is of 14th March. The sales owner is whoever the sales owner that you have added as an employee to this application, they will be listed out in the sales owner. And below that, you have the product subform, where the customer can choose what is the product that they need, right? So I'll be choosing the smart LED, since the smart LED is the one that we have recently produced. So I'll choose the smart LED along with the variant. The quantity is going to be 1. And once you provide the product information and the quantity information, the unit price, the total, the discount, if any applicable, or if the taxable amount, IGST information, all that will be automatically calculated based on a workflow that we have written in the backend. And again, the subtotal and the tax net total, those information will also be calculated. And if the customer is paying any initial amount while placing the order, they can use this subform where they can just give the paid amount. So for example, let's say the total amount is 33,600. Now the customer is paying like around 10,000, and I'll submit the bill for any invoice bill if it is generated. Yeah, now I'll just upload this particular bill, and the mode of payment is going to be cash. Now I'll submit this. Now once this is submitted, you need to approve or reject this particular order. So if you approve, here you have the approval workflow creator. So for now it is just one approval. Whereas if it is needed, you can go ahead and add multi-level approvals. Now I'll just go and approve this particular order. So on approving, it will take you to the approved status, where if you have the product already in stock, you can directly go and click on this create transitory storage, right? Whereas if the product is not available, and if you would like to create a new production order to this particular sales order, you can click on this order. On top, you will get to see the request production order. By clicking on this, it will take you, or it will redirect you to the production order form, where you can plan and schedule your production order for this sales order, right? And simultaneously, you can also update the payment info. So whenever the customer is paying the amount, you can also update the payment information over here. right? So these are the process that you'll be following. Now since I have just created this particular, or I have just manufactured this particular product, I'll just go with the create transitory storage. And within here, I'll get to see what is the transitory storage type and the sales order code. And then you will get to see what is the material that is used and what is the quantity in stock, the required quantity, allocated quantity, and the production in progress. And this will also take the transitory storage, as I mentioned earlier, the spaces, right? So when you are trying to deliver a particular product to the customer, there will be there will be a temporary space where you will stock the products into that particular space, right? So those information will be automatically added over here. Now I'll submit this. Now, once it is submit, the status will be changed to products allocated. And the next step is going to be, since you have allocated the product and since it is out for delivery, you can choose the dispatch order, right? And here I'll be choosing the delivery partner. So again, the delivery partner information should be added in the or details or modules. And once you choose them, it will default, it will auto populate the product that is going to be delivered. Now I'll submit this. Right. Now, once you submit this, if you want to create any delivery challan, you can create them, where you can just give this particular challan to the delivery partner. So you can edit them, or you can take a PDF of this copy and you can send it to the delivery partner. So once that is done, if the product is delivered to the customer, you can just click on this mark as delivered, and that particular product will be marked as delivered. If you want to send the sales invoice, or if the product is returned, that is also can be maintained over here. Now, since the customer paid only partial amount, the status is showing partially paid. Partially paid. I think this one. So what I'll do, I'll just click on the update payment. Here I'll get to see the order details along with the amount that is paid so far and what is the due amount. So let's say the customer is paying the full amount, and I'll upload the bill detail. Along with that, the mode of payment. Now I'll submit this. Now this will gives you the result as paid. Right. So that is the complete process that you will be following for the sales order whenever it is generating within this ERP solution. Right. So I think I have covered all of the modules, and also apart from this, we have a separate module where you can maintain the logistics and as well as the purchase. So purchase is nothing but you will be creating the purchase order to different vendors whenever you are trying to get the raw materials from the vendors. That's when you will create the purchase order. And logistic is nothing but whenever there is any trips allocated, or whenever there is any transport request is allocated, or if it is a delivery challan that you want to create or view, those information can be viewed within the logistics. So basically any outbound or inbound deliveries, those information will be maintained in the logistic dashboards. So I think that is about the total ERP solution. So I think we have reached the end of the session. So, and also I think I have covered all of the modules. So yeah, let me go back to the presentation again. So apart from this, I would also like to discuss a few extended use cases that you can implement within this manufacturing ERP. So you can go ahead and integrate with the existing ERP system for any enhanced functionality. So let's say you already have a legacy system, which is you're already maintaining it in your manufacturing industry. If you would like to use your Creator application, which is the application that we have showcased in today's session, if you would like to use them, you can integrate the application, the existing legacy application, with the Creator application, and you can start exploring, or you can start creating different automations, right? And then IoT integration. So this will help you in the sensor-based tracking for any inventory and the equipment monitoring. And you also have the AI-powered predictive maintenance, where it will automate the issue detection before any failure occurs. So if there is any failure occurs in the product that you are producing, this AI will help you. This AI prediction will help you, and it will detect if there is going to be any failures. right? And the custom dashboard, you can create any custom dashboard to get real-time analytics for to take a better decision making. And multi-level approvals, if there is if certain process requires any multi-level approval. So for example, let's say a employee is raising the item request, right? So that request will be approved by the manager. Whereas if the employee is going and raising the request for different multiple items, on that case it should be approved by the manager and as well as the senior manager. So that's something about the multi-level approvals that you can perform. Right. So this is about the extended use cases that I would like to showcase in today's session. And let us quickly go to the recap, whatever the modules that we have covered so far in this session. So we have showcased the sales dashboard, where you will get to see all the revenue details of your organization within one single dashboard. And apart from that, we also explored the inventory management, where we will be adding different product information, and along with that we will also be adding different stock details. All those information I've just explained it in this particular inventory management. Then we have the production planning, where once you get a sales order, or once there is any existing production that you are doing, and if you would like to plan and schedule the production, that is something you can do it within this dashboard, right? So these are all the core operation that we have covered in this particular manufacturing ERP solution, right? Now, I think we have reached the end of the session. And before that, I would also like to ask you guys that if you require the application DS file, and as well as if you wanted any detailed demonstration of this particular application, again, if you want this DS file and if you want the detailed demonstration of the application, you can use this link and you can provide your consent, so that we will analyze and then we will follow back with whatever the information that you have provided. Just use this link to have your data or the details, to just add your details into this link. And along with that, you also have this QR code. You can just scan this QR code and you can access this particular form, where we need to know if you guys are required this application DS file, and if you guys wanted a detailed demonstration of this particular application that we showcased in our today's session. If you are interested in getting these two, if you are interested in getting into these, the DS file and as well as a demonstration, please access this link and give your concern, so that we will analyze and then we will get back to you, right? So I'll just leave this screen open for a second maybe. And also, I hope my co-trainer will also be sharing the link in the chat tab, so you can also access the link from there and you can give your concern. And apart from this, I'm also excited to share our upcoming sessions, where we have our 2 webinars, which is Creator Tech Connect series, and we have this Learning Tables series for the next month, which is the April. So let me talk about the Creator Tech Connect series. So Creator Tech Connect series is a 12-month, it's a month-on-month webinar, where we will be discussing about the different technical concepts that we have in Creator platform. So for the month of March, we are planned to cover the UI and UX customization with the advanced features available in Creator. So if you guys are interested, the session is going to happen on March 13 around 11 a.m. IST. You can scan this QR code and you can register for the session, which will be very much helpful to understand the UI UX customization. And talking about the Learning Table series, we have planned the logistic industry for the April month. Again, this is going to happen on the same time, which is 11 a.m. IST, which is going to be a 1-hour webinar. So if you are interested in exploring the logistic industry within your Creator platform, you can again scan this QR code and register for the session. And as well as the registration link will be shared in the chat tab by my co-trainer. You can access the link from the chat tab and you can register for the session, right? Thank you, everyone. In case if you guys have any queries related to the training, you can reach out to us by writing to training@zohocreator.com. We will be happy to help you with any queries related to the training. And yeah, thank you once again for attending this live webinar.